Welcome to the video tutorial for the textured Ridges Beanie. For this pattern I used a number 4 medium weight yarn, 100% acrylic, and a 5.5 millimeter hook. Hope you enjoy it. Happy hooking! So to begin this tutorial for the textured Ridges Beanie, we'll start like you probably always start. Slip knot on your hook. And we're going to begin with a chain 5. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's my 5 chains. We'll go into this first chain, grab your yarn, pull it through, slip knot. That's how we start. So for the first row, we're going to be working 10 double crochets into this area right here. A lot of times I think people think it's this little hole, but it's not. It's this one right here. Your little leg here gets in the way. But to start round 1, in every round, we're going to do a chain 1, and we're going to work 10 double crochets into this hole right there. Uh-oh, little things in the way. All right, there's 1. The hole gets more defined as you go along, makes it easier. Sometimes it's kind of hard at the beginning. And I won't show you every stitch of every row. I think that gets really boring. But for this first one, I thought I would just go ahead since it's only 10 stitches. So we're placing 10 double crochets into the loop we made out of our chain 5. And I've completely lost count. Let's see, how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's our 10th. In the hole, pull it up, pull through 2, pull through 2. There's our 10 double crochets. Every row we'll start with the chain 1, we'll end with a slip knot or a slip stitch into your first stitch. So let's go ahead and grab your yarn, slip stitch. There's row 1. Should have 10 stitches. I'm a tight crocheter. Yours might be a little bigger than this. I tend to crochet really tight. Okay, for row 2, we're going to start our increase for the next several rows. And all that means is that each row, our circle is going to get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger to make the crown of the hat before we start on the body. So for row 2, we'll do our chain 1. And we're going to place 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So, like this. There's 1 double crochet. We're going to go right back into that same stitch and put a second double crochet in that same stitch. So we got 2. And we're going to do this in each stitch around. So here's 1 and 2. So at the end of this row, you should have 20 stitches. I'll pick you back up somewhere down here and see how you're doing. Okay, we're at the end of row 2. I've got 2 more double crochets in this last stitch. So that's 19 and 20. So there it is. We'll slip stitch to join like always. And there's your 20 stitches of double crochets for row 2. All right, we're ready for row 3. Okay, let's start row 3. We're going to continue our increase. We will start as always with a chain 1. And on this row, we're going to do 1 double crochet in that first chain stitch, and we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. So 1 double crochet in the first stitch, 2 in the next. So 1 double crochet in this stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. There's 1 and 2 right back in that same stitch. We'll repeat this pattern all the way around. 1 double crochet, 2, 1 double crochet, 2, all the way around. And at the end of this row, we should have 30 stitches. And I'll pick you up somewhere down in here to see how you're doing. Okay, we're here at the end of row 3. And I am on stitch 28, which is 1 double crochet and 2 in this last stitch, which is 29 and 30. So there's our 30 stitches on row 3. We will slip stitch to join. And there's the end of row 3. Looking good. We are on round 4. As always, we start with our chain 1. Continuing our increase, this row we'll do 1 double crochet in the first 2 stitches. There's 1 and 1 in our second stitch, and then 2 double crochets in our third stitch. There's 1 and then 2 in that same stitch. So 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 1. 2 double crochets in this third stitch. Second in that same stitch. And we'll repeat this pattern all the way around with 1 double crochet in the first 2, 2 in the next, 1 double crochet in the next 2, 2 in the next, all the way around. At the end of round 4, we'll have 40 stitches. So I'll pick you up down in here, see how it's looking. Okay, we're ending our round 4, and I've got these last 3 stitches. We'll have 37, 38, and then 39 and 40 will go in this last stitch. 39 and 40. The yarn's all bunching up on me. So here's 40 at the end of row 4. Let's go ahead and slip stitch to join before I forget to tell you that. And that's the end of round 4. If you get to the end of your row, you're supposed to have 40 and you only have 39, it's no problem. It really isn't. With this type of hat, it just doesn't make that big a difference if you're off a stitch or 2. No stress. It's going to look just as pretty. I somehow miraculously came out with 40, so yay for me. We have 2 more rows of increase, and I'll see you back for round 5. Okay, we're on row 5. Still working our increase. Start with that chain 1. On row 5, we will put 1 double crochet in the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then in the 4th stitch we'll place 2 double crochets. So you see how this increase is working? Each row we just add 1 more stitch to make our circle bigger. So 1 double crochet in the first 3, 2 double crochet in the next. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th stitch we place 2 double crochets in that same stitch. So there's 1 and 2. And we will work that pattern all the way around. 1, 1, 1, and 2 all the way around. At the end of this row we'll have 50 stitches. I'll meet you back over here and check out your progress. Okay, we're nearing the end of row 5. My cat has decided to join us. So I am on, oops, hey Asia, 46, 47, 48, and the last 2 stitches in the last 2 double crochets in this last stitch, 49 and 50. Slip stitch to join in that first double crochet as always. Oops. And that's the end of row 5. The good news is we only have 1 more row of increase, so I'll see you back for row 6. All right, this is row 6. It's our last round of increase. Hooray! And start with our chain 1. And in this row, we will do 1 double crochet in the first 4 stitches. That's 2. Here's 3. And 4. And like we've been doing on this next stitch, we put 2 double crochets in that same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 in that 5th stitch. Work it all the way around. At the end of this row we'll have 60 stitches, and then we'll be able to move on to the body of our hat. So I'll meet you back over here and see how you're doing. Okay, here's the end of row 6. Do our last repeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 59 and 60 will go in this last stitch. There's 59, and there's 60. All right, slip stitch to join in your first double crochet. Can't get it in there. And this is the crown of your hat. If you think you need a larger hat for some reason, feel free to do 1 more row of increases. All that would be would be doing one double crochet in the first 5 stitches and then 2 double crochets in the 6th stitch. That would give you 70 stitches, but that's going to be a pretty big hat. So we're going to leave it at 60, and from here on out we'll be working the body of the hat and no more increases. So each row from here on out will have 60 stitches. So I'll see you back for row 7. Okay, so we're starting row 7. It's the start of the body of our hat. And guess what? We get to do a new stitch. We'll start with our chain 1, and in this row, we will work a half double crochet in each stitch around. Easy, easy, easy. 1 half double crochet in every stitch around. So again, there'll be 60 stitches in this row. Half double crochet all the way around. I'll meet you back over here at the end. Okay, so we're at the end of row 7. I've got 2 more half double crochets. So that's 59 and 60. Same thing, slip stitch to join in that first half double crochet. And that's the first row of the body of our hat. Okay, we're on row 8, second row of the body of our hat. And we're going to be using a stitch that some of you might not know. A lot of you probably do, but some of you might not. And if you don't, there's a lot of YouTube tutorials that are quick and easy that show you. And the stitch we're using is the half double crochet in the 3rd loop. So I'll see if I can show you the 3rd loop. So here's the top, the regular stitch, the little V looking thing. If you pull it towards you, this piece right here is the 3rd loop. See, here's the first 2, and this is what's called the 3rd loop. And we're going to be working our half double crochet in that loop all the way around. We'll start with our chain 1. And I will tell you that I find it almost impossible to find the 3rd loop in this first stitch. I just don't think it's there. So I cheat a little bit, and in this very first stitch only, I'm going to use the back loop only for this first half double crochet. If I can get my hook in there, let's see. And it won't make one bit of difference. So I did my first half double crochet just in the back loop. Now I'm going to start my half double crochets in this 3rd loop right there. So take your hook, put it in that 3rd loop, bring it up, regular half double crochet. 3rd loop. Once you find it, it's super easy. It can be tricky at first. So 3rd loop, half double crochet all the way around. One more time. Just kind of pull it towards you. There's the regular stitch. Pull it towards you. There's that 3rd loop right there. And the reason I like this stitch is because it gives, when you're finished with it, it gives it sort of a ridge around that row of your hat, and it's really nice texture. So let's work this half double crochet in the 3rd loop all the way around. Again, you'll have 60 stitches. There's that 3rd loop. You'll have 60 stitches at the end, and I will join you at the end of this row. So you can already tell it's making that little ridge. Isn't that nice? And that'll be all the way around. So I'll join you at the end of this row, and we will continue on. Okay, we're at the end of row 8 with our half double crochet 3rd loop. I've got 3 more stitches. You can really see this back loop now that I'm at the end. So 58, 59, here's that back loop, 60. Yes, we did it. Slip stitch to join in that first half double crochet. and you can really see how this third half double crochet third loop gives you this beautiful ridge around the hat. All right, I will see you back for row 9. Okay, for row 9, start with our chain 1 as always, and in this row we're bringing back our good friend double crochet. So every stitch in row 9 is 1 double crochet in each stitch around. It just doesn't get easier than this. So a double crochet each stitch around, you'll have 60 stitches, and I'll see you around this part and we'll finish this row. Okay, we're at the end of row 9 where we've put 1 double crochet in each stitch around. Let's see, this is 59 and 60. So slip stitch to join in that first double crochet, and that's row 9. Starting to take shape. Okay, see you for row 10. Okay, for row 10, we're going to start with our chain 1, and in this row, we're going to place a half double crochet in each stitch around. I think this is probably the easiest stitch there is. So a half double crochet in each stitch around. We'll have 60 stitches in this row, like all of them in our body, and I'll meet you back near the end to finish off this row. Okay, we're at the end of row 10 where we were placing 1 half double crochet in each row. So that's 59 and 60. We will slip stitch to join in that first half double crochet, and there we have the end of row 10. Okay, I'll see you for row 11. Okay, we're on row 11. We'll start with our chain 1, and we're going to be using a stitch that we haven't used to this point. It's the single crochet back loop only. Super simple. All you do, instead of going underneath both of the stitches, the little V part, you'll have this front loop, and then this is the back loop. So you'll just take your hook and put it in that back loop, pull your yarn through for your single crochet. Very simple. Just put your hook through that back loop only instead of going underneath those two. You just stick it right there in the back loop, pull up your yarn, and finish off your single crochet. So that's the single crochet back loop only. And we will continue this stitch all the way around. 60 stitches as always. This makes kind of a smaller ridge, not quite as big as this half double crochet in the back third loop. Makes a semi ridge. It's a pretty stitch, and it's really easy and it's really fast. So place your single crochet back loop only in each stitch around, and I'll see you near the end to finish this off. Okay, we're here at the end of row 11 where we're working our single crochet back loop only stitch, and this is 59 and 60. I like this stitch because it gives it just a little bit of texture. Close with that slip stitch. As you can see, it's got a small ridge, not as big as this one, but it adds a little something. Okay, that's the end of row 11, and I will see you back for the next rows of the body of our hat.
For rows 12 through 16, we repeat rows 7 through 11, and I have the instructions here for you to see. For rows 17 through 21, we're going to repeat those last 5 rows one more time. So basically the body of your hat are those 5 rows 7 through 11 repeated 3 times.
Okay, we've finished the body of our hat. We've done 21 rows. Here's what mine looks like. I'm sure yours is very similar. And guess what? We're ready for our brim. So my brim is a simple 5-row brim. We start with our chain 1, and this next row, which is row 22, is simply a single crochet in each stitch. Actually, this row and row 23 are both single crochets in each stitch. So go ahead and work these next 2 rows, single crochet 60 times around, join with your slip stitch at the end, and I will pick you back up at row 24. Okay, we're at the end of row 23, which is our second row of our brim using single crochet. So this is 59 and 60. So we've got 2 rows of single crochet starting our brim. Let's slip stitch to join. And we've got 3 more rows to go. Okay, for rows 24 and 25, we're going to start with our chain 1, and we're going to work in the back loop only again, a single crochet in the back loop only, like we did previously. Here's the front loop, here's the back loop. Put your hook in the back loop, work your single crochet. We're going to do 2 rows of this single crochet back loop only, 2 rows, 60 stitches around. Make sure you slip stitch to join at the end of that row, and I will meet you after you do that second row single crochet back loop only, and we'll work on our final row, row 26. Okay, this is the end of row 25 where we're working single crochet back loop only. The second row of that, we will slip stitch to join, and we have 1 row to go. So I'll see you for the last row, row 26. Okay, welcome to the final row, row 26. We're almost there. We'll start with our chain 1, and to end our hat, we will do 1 row of single crochet. Pretty easy stuff. So 60 stitches around, single crochet, and I will see you at the end. Okay, we have reached the end of our pattern with our final row of single crochet in our brim. That's 59, and the last stitch is 60. Well, we have to do our slip stitch to close, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our pattern. Let's weave those ends in. If I can get my hook in. And here we have our hat. What do you think? I'll put it on my little model's head and we'll see. And here we have it. It has a slight slouch, which I always like. Very textured. As I said previously, if you prefer a different type of a brim, some people like the ribbed look or a front post, back post. I think this has enough texture to go with a simple brim. So I hope you enjoyed making this textured Ridges beanie as much as I did. If you liked the video, hit that like button, maybe subscribe, and hopefully I will be putting up some additional video tutorials for you in the future.